and Santa Ana, right there. That's the CJX main jail. And when you get there, um, that's pretty much the first place where they send you to. They send you there so you can fight your case, whatnot. And you have 4 stories: first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor. Um, so when I got there, they put me on the fourth floor. They put me in the fourth floor, and F-27, F-28. I was there fighting my case. For those of you guys that have seen my videos, that's when all the riots happened. That's when all the riots happened. So I ended up going to the hole, and when a B6, I told you guys the story about the haunted cell in B7. Went to B7 after I got out of the hole, and then they shot me out to Theo Lacy. Theo Lacy is not the main jail, obviously. It to me, and for those of you that know, it's not the main jail, but it's the next county jail in Orange, not Santa Ana, but Orange. So I get to Theo Lacy. They put me in IMOD. IMOD. Um, I go to IMOD and I get snatched up real quick. Get sent me to the hole for like 10 days for some bullshit. For some bullshit. Um, Want me to tell you what it was? They sent me to the hole. I was barely gonna start a batch of Pruno alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like a batch of Pruno. I barely started the kicker. For those of you that do not know what a kicker is, that's basically when you get the fruit and you let it rot so it can become the the thing that ferments the sugar and the liquid and all that turns it into alcohol. So um, they hit my cell, they find a little ass fucking kicker, and they give me 10 days in the hole. I go there 10 days in the hole, whatnot, which is fucking crazy. Um, I get out, they send me back to the same unit, and then I go to court. When I go to court, I'm sitting there, and it was one of the times where I was fighting my life case. But it's one of the times where I actually seen some of my other homeboys. My crimey at the time, homie from my neighborhood, was there, of course, after a while. So when I first got locked up, he our cases weren't bounded over to each other. Our cases weren't put together yet. Because he got locked up almost a year before I did. I was on the run. I was on the run for 8, 9 months. The U.S. Marshals were looking for me and everything. And the feds were looking for my ass everywhere. And the fugitive task force, whatnot. So I ended up getting locked up, and it took a couple months for them to put our cases together. So I digress and go back to what I was saying. So I went to court. My crime was there like always. And then this time I ended up seeing my brother and 3 of my homeboys from my neighborhood. So it was like 5 of us, 5 or 6 of us. There was somebody else there too. Um, so we're relaxing, finding our case, doing whatever, like going through the motions and all that. And for anybody that knows finding cases, um, when you go to court, you're locked up, you find your case, you're sitting there in a holding tank, sitting on concrete, fucking, like it sucks. It's boring as shit. Not to mention that you sit there for 8 hours. If you can't in Orange County, the first bus, you're trying to catch the first bus. If you don't catch the first bus, the next bus doesn't come to like 5, 6 hours. So if you catch the last bus, you're gonna be there like 10 hours the whole day, sitting your ass in a concrete bench the whole time. So um, thank God, you know, uh, I had a good time that time with everybody that I knew, including my crime and everything. And once the day was over, boom, it sent me back. Last bus, boom, it sent me back. And When we get to intake, again, R&R. It's not R&R. It's not called R&R like prison, but it's like intake and Theo Lacy. We're going through there. They put us in our cells, strip us down, search us, all that routine like they always do. And so I'm sitting in the cells, I'm chopping it up with people, like just conversating and whatnot. And then uh, the time comes where they gotta send us back to our unit. They gotta send us back to our unit, and so they call each one of us one at a time. Boom, boom, boom. Get in line. First name, boom, behind. Second name, third name, fourth name, behind. Boom, boom. We're standing in line. So they put me behind, like maybe like there's probably like 15 of us, and they put me like at 12 or 13, somewhere like the number. Um, but they put this black dude in front of me. They put him in front of me, and so we're going. Once they have the line at 15 or what, give or take, we start going. We start going, walk, straight line, hands behind your back, whatnot. We start walking, and we're dropping dudes off. We're dropping dudes off one at a time in modules, whatnot. Boom, 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 boom. So we finally get to my unit. We finally get to my unit, and when we get there, meaning right before we get there, so I could see my unit in the distance, and there was a long ass hallway, and I was behind this black dude. And while we're walking towards there, there's maybe like about four dudes left in front of him. The dudes behind us have already fucking getting got escorted to wherever they needed to go. So I'm going and we're walking, and I hear this dude say something about Mexicans, something about like fucking wetbacks or something. He said some crazy ass shit. We got there, boom, stopped. The dude in front of him, there was white boys in front of him saying something. And I don't know if he responded to that or not, but this dude looks back and says, fucking wetbacks or something. And when he said that, he looked back like this. I was behind him, so he went like this. I was behind him, so he was like, fucking wetbacks, like something like that. So I was like, what? I've never been through some shit like that. So somebody, like black, anybody, call me a wetback. Not in Cali, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? So when he did that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was tripping out. I was like, nah, I don't think I heard that right. And he was sitting there, and I was like, what'd you say, bro? He looks at me, he's like, you heard what I said. I was like, no, I didn't hear what you said. Tell it to me. As soon as he turned around, boom, I cracked him. We start going. And this dude was taller than me. Black dudes, heavy set dude, I had my hands full, but I didn't hesitate. Hit him in the chin, boom. We're boxing. We're going. Now the thing with that is that in Orange County Jail, the deputies are messing you up, especially back then. They were trying to kill dudes and fuck dudes up and tasing dudes and pepper spraying them and all that shit, for no reason. Now, if you give them a reason for them to come and break up a fight or whatnot, at least at the time, I felt like it was like, oh shit, they're gonna treat me worse. But you know what? In all fairness to them, they used to do that shit because they were bored, and to dudes that were like they considered the weenies. So the dudes that actually were actually putting in work or like fighting each other and handling business, yeah, they would come and put their hands on us like they did. They pepper sprayed the shit out of me and all that. They sprayed both of us. They tased him, not me. Um, Maybe there was some racism involved in that. Um, but yeah, man, I handled my business on that time because that dude was being racist as shit, and I didn't even know who he was. I actually shared this story before on my first channel, and I wanted to reiterate the story because, that shit right there, the ignorance that comes with somebody saying went back and it's like, like behind me is like, what the fuck, like, bro, I didn't even do shit to you, bro. You know what I'm saying, like. And I don't know what was going on through his mind. Maybe he had got victimized. Maybe he was from LA County, got in riots with the homies or whatnot. Maybe he was from Orange County and got victimized with the homeboys or just riots or whatnot. It don't matter. Around the time that this happened, it was when all that fucking the high school riots were happening in LA, Chino State Prison, all that, and it trickled down to Orange County to the jail and all that. And we were handling business, going to riots, D21, D22, all that, you know. And the reason I wanted to say this story is because of that, the racism, uh, the the divisions between races and things like that, you know. So they ended up stopping the fight and everything. Um, they sprayed the shit out of me. They tased him, and they threw us back. They threw me back in my cell, and then I ended up going to the hole after they read my. I had my hearing for my write up, whatnot, and then ended up sending me to the hole again. And you know, it's just unfortunate that one individual that I didn't know must have had so much animosity in his heart that he literally wanted to be racist as fuck. And I guess what I want to say is that all that racism that happened towards black individuals or black brothers out there and everything, he was the one being racist this time. And it's very unfortunate, because I would have never expected that, but it happened. It happened. It's a true story. It happened. Theo Lacy, IMOD, right outside for anybody that was there in IMOD. I was in the first pod to the left. They had the rotunda, and that's where it happened. Right when we got to the rotunda, it was like three dudes in front of him, me, and then him, and then me behind him. So yeah, it's messed up. It's messed up to say, but shit like this happens in there. And everybody has their own little agenda. They have their own issues going on in their mind. And like I said, I tell the story for the youngsters out there. Hopefully, they understand that that's not the environment that you want to be in. So yeah, that's it.